Hey guys, so I thought I would make another quick video. This time it actually has a point to it, so I'm all organized and stuff. I have like notes. Anyway, okay, so this one is all about slang that I'm learning to pick up and just like words that are, we have the same words back home, but they totally mean different things, and it's kind of confusing if you don't quite know what they're talking about. So here's a couple that I've heard on a pretty regular basis. So you know how I say like, hey guys, or like, hey, how are you? Or how we say like, hey, what's up back home? Well, over here, introducing yourself in the morning like, oh, hey, good morning, is you alright? Or you okay? Or like, how you doing? You okay? And when I first heard that, I was like, oh, I'm good, how are you? But that's how are you over here, which is interesting. So, how you getting on? Like, you okay means, it's not like, are you okay, you look terrible, or you look sick, or look, what's wrong? It's what's up? So, that's number one. That was really kind of a trip, coming in and every morning to work, and all the teachers are like, you okay? Like, is my face, what's going on? So, that's number one. Number two, public transit is what we say back home, like getting on the bus is transit, right? Over here, it's called transport, and a couple times when we were like, oh, we're gonna take, public transportation, like we're gonna go back home that way, teachers laughed at us. I mean, like, not like laughed, but they were like, oh, that's so cute, oh, you're Canadian. It's transport over here, so that's like a minor difference, but it was still like, oh, okay. And then this one was interesting. There's a shopping center nearby called Freshney Place, and back home we would call it like a mall or like shopping mall or whatever. Over here it's called a shopping center, and if you say shopping mall, that's like, oh, you're so American, and so like you have to say shopping center all the time. Anyway, like that's not one you're gonna like encounter a lot, but it's still like, oh, okay, a cultural difference, so that's kind of cool. Then obviously like there's the the regular ones, like lift is a elevator, a fag is a cigarette. And actually on that note, kids do say like, oh, so gay or faggot, stuff like that, but the word for like gay, if someone is like, oh, like I think you might be gay, for example, the expression is, oh, he's so camp, like, oh, that's campy. And it's funny because back home, like campy means like kitschy, right? Like, how do I explain this? Like the Batman series with Adam West is campy, right? Because it's like, it's obviously funny, it's low budget, like it's camp, right? But over here, camp means like very gay. So like Mr. Humphreys, the character from Are You Being Served, was really camp, okay? Because he played it very, very gay. And in fact, the actor who played Mr. Humphreys was gay. But anyway, different thing altogether. My point is this. Camp means gay. Okay, next one. Petrol obviously means it's gas. So like, oh, the price of petrol is going through the roof, so gas. Carriageway is highway, right? So I thought that was kind of cute because it's like, oh, horses, but there are no horses. It's carriageway. Yeah. And then on the subject of driving, roundabouts, what the fuck? Those things are insane. I don't know how they work. I saw them when I was working in France. I know I guess they're pretty popular in Europe. I don't know. And I guess they're super efficient as well because you can go like 12 different directions, like depending on how big the roundabout is or whatever, but they're so confusing if you don't know what you're doing. And I remember when I was we were visiting Paris as a family many years ago, and my dad got stuck in this giant roundabout, and he was getting just more frustrated with every turn. So every time we go through a roundabout to get to work, because we have to go through about like 3 from where I'm living to get to school every day where I work. And it's just every time we go around it, like I'm remembering my poor father, and it's just such a trip. It's really funny. What's next? Oh, okay. And speaking of roundabouts, oh, I'm so smart. I have like segues planned. Anyway, the next one is this really cute expression for like, oh, that's the way the cookie crumbles, or like, oh, well, whatever, or like water under the bridge. It's swings and roundabouts. How cute is that? So, like for example, well, someone ate my lunch in the staff room. Oh, swing the roundabouts, eh? Like, remember to label it the next day. Like, oh, just get over it, like, whatever. Then there's another one. Okay, the time, like 10:30, 3:30, whatever. Half. Okay, they say half. So, like, 10:30 is half 10, or 3:30, half 3, or, yeah. So, things like that. I just think it's really like clever way to say it. I think every time I hear someone say like, oh, see you around half 2, I'm always just like, oh, that's so cute. Anyway, Oh, I'm such a geek. Okay, and then this one was kind of fun to get my head wrapped around, how they distinguish meal times. So breakfast is breakfast, right? And then lunch, what we like, okay, like the midday meal, is dinner in the north, anyway, because I know all over England it actually varies, but where I'm living, okay, in the northeast of the continent, or fucking the country, whoops. Anyway, it's so lunch is called dinner, okay, and dinner time, so the evening meal, all right, is called tea. So like walking home from work, my roommate Becca and I will hear like, what do you want for tea? Like from mothers to their kids playing outside, or come in for tea. Um, so dinner, like the last meal of the day is tea time. And then, dinner, like meal food is called like your midnight snack. So they eat like later in the day. So they really have like 4 meal times essentially. And I think like in other parts of London they call like breakfast, dinner, and supper depending on where you are. But over here where I'm living, it's breakfast, dinner, tea, which I think is kind of cool because it's not like, oh, what are you having for tea? Oh, I guess Earl Grey and some cookies. Not quite. You're having like food because it's dinner time, but it's tea time, so that's kind of fun. Incidentally, I've been drinking like 4 cups of tea every day, and it's awesome. They have amazing flavors of tea. What am I drinking right now? Well, not right now, but like the one I recently bought. I had it yesterday. It was really good. It was like white flower and elderberry or something really fragrant and lovely, and you add a little bit of milk to it. I've started doing milk in my tea. I know, I never thought I would, but I am, and it's awesome. So anyway. Oh, yeah, speaking of doing that, I just do that noise. Okay, you know how like this, sorry, means like fuck you, right? This, like flipping the, like opposite peace sign, means like fuck you over here. So when you're doing peace, always make sure it's outward facing, right? And when you're counting, this is a really big kind of a note for us teachers, because like if you're counting for kids to shut up, it's like, okay guys, 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't count outwards. Always count, or don't count inwards. Always count outwards, right? So 5 seconds to shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never do that. It's really bad, and the kids will laugh at you. So not that I've had to learn the hard way, because so far my observations have been pretty awesome, and I'm enjoying it. The kids are so cute. I'm having like, I think I mentioned this, I have lots of like 7s and 8s who are going to grow into 8s and 9s, year 8 and 9, and I am going to have a number of grade 7 classes next year, so that's kind of fun. But they're all so sweet. They're like, oh, Miss, you from Canada by any chance? Yeah, and like, oh, did you know Mr. Costa from Canada? Mr. Costa is another one of the Canadian teachers who's been here for like 3 years. And there's a fair bit of Canadian, so the kids are super used to us. And anyway, to make a long story short, they're so sweet, and I'm actually really excited to, get working with them. So, anyway, so yeah, what's happening now? Let's see. Okay, I'll give you a recap of what my end of week was. A bunch of us went to this place to, I guess, have like an after dinner drink or whatever. And it turned out to be a really fun night. We went for one drink at this bar called Riverside's, where we had gone last week for the meet and greet. And then we were starving, so we went to, we found this really good Indian place called Me Too Raj. And we had the most delicious food, and it was so inexpensive. I'm sure when you do the conversion, it makes sense and it's like quite reasonably priced. But I mean, living here, you can't keep converting because you're going to go crazy. So you have to live in pounds instead of dollars, Canadian dollars, right? So like my meal plus the naan plus the starter was like £8, and it was amazing. When I say amazing, I mean amazing. I've been craving Indian food since I finished my last placement at Marymount, to be totally honest with you, and I was totally satisfied. It was fucking amazing. And we're gonna go there like every week. It's gonna be like a thing. Everyone had a great time. We really bonded. We walked around the area. It was beautiful. Had lots of fun with each other. It was really like necessary for all of us to sort of just get together and decompress after the week we had. So it was really great. And yesterday, basically everyone in the house slept until about 11, and it was really needed as well. So we just kind of lazed about, and Becca made falafel from scratch, which were delicious. And yeah, today basically we slept in a little bit, then she and I, we walked over to get some groceries at the shopping center. Yeah, what else did we do? No, we walked around, I got some books, yeah, so what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday, so we're going to do the same thing all over again until Wednesday. Wednesday is our last day. It's the last day of term, so we get Thursday, Friday off, and I think there's rumblings in the house of maybe going off to Lincoln for the weekend, which could be a lot of fun. So we'll see how that goes, and if we do, then I'll definitely make a video to show you guys around Lincoln or whatever. As soon as I figure out how to splice like iPhone video into webcam video, I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll see. Yeah, so I think that's everything for now. I love you guys very much. I miss you guys like crazy. I did want to say a special shout out. I have to get used to saying that. It's so weird. And say a special hello to, again, my students. Miriam, who, mentioned that she's watching my videos on Twitter, which makes me really happy. So hi. And of course to Dylan, who's doing a great job with his creative writing. I'm really impressed with your work. I'm really proud of you for putting yourself out there. I know it can be kind of weird, and it's like, oh, I don't know if anyone's actually like looking at my websites or anything, but you know what? It's good. It helps your confidence. I know it helped mine a lot, and you are incredibly talented. So I'm really glad that you're putting all your work out there. It's really great, and I hope you keep up with it because I know I enjoy reading your work very much. And again, I want to say another special hi to Young, who's back in Montreal now. And to Chloe and Phil, obviously, hey, thanks for watching my stuff. And to everybody else back home, I don't know who everybody else is, I'm not that intensely popular, but, obviously my family, I'm going to make another video for them. And, yeah, so be good, don't set anything on fire, I love you guys, miss you guys very much, and I'll make another one of these soon. Bye!